Hi, I'm Karsten, and I will be demonstrating my QR code scanner and its creative application for remote sensing. I used a Raspberry Pi and a Raspberry Pi camera for my QR code scanner. My creative application is a time clock for employees. So if every employee has a unique badge with a QR code, they can scan it once to clock in and then scan it again to clock back out. There can be many employees clocked in or clocked out at a time. The Raspberry Pi will keep track of when they clock in and out, and keep track of how many hours each individual employee works. Also, if the red light will indicate if there is no one currently clocked in, and a green light will indicate if someone is clocked in. So here the red light is displayed because no QR code has been scanned, so nobody is clocked in. And this is what my camera is seeing. So if I pick up this and scan Karsten, it will see Karsten, and it has now clocked me in, and the green light has now turned on. Now I'm going to scan multiple QR codes. So Dr. Mitchell and George have now been clocked in. So it tells the time and everybody who's currently working. The green light is on still. Now I'm going to clock Dr. Mitchell out. The green light is still on because two people are still working. Now I'm going to scan George and Karsten. Now both of them are clocked out. The red light now is displayed because nobody is working, and it tells me how much time each person has worked. What unique code I had to insert is pretty much all commented. You can feel free to pause to read what everything does. So I had to insert some new packages, including time, date time, and then also this rpi.gpio to activate the pins. So I activated pins 14 and 15, and I initialized the red one to be on and the green one to turn off. And I also had to make a few lists to keep track of the employees, also the times that those employees clock in, and a clock out just to prevent accidental clock-ins. A lot of this in the beginning we did in class, where we used the camera to take a video, and it detects QR codes and it puts a box around them and puts the whatever data it reads from the QR code right next to the box. How my time clock programming works is that when the QR code is read and there is some data, it specifies it really into a name. And so if there is a name read and this name is not in the employee list yet, it will clock that person in. So it'll add the name to the list, and it'll tell when and what day they clocked in. It also adds the time to a list. Now it keeps running in a loop, so if it scans that same name again, it sees that name's already in the list, so it wants to clock that person out. So it displays when they're clocking out, it calculates how many hours, minutes, and seconds based off of that clock in list, and using some indexing, it remembers the time every individual person is working. So it prints that to the window, and then if nobody is now clocked in, it tells us that nobody's clocked in. Otherwise, it tells us who is. Additionally, I programmed it it keeps track of when they clock out too, and with the clock in times, I can use those to make sure they don't accidentally clock in and out really quick or clock out and in really quick. Once something happens, it waits another 5 seconds before taking another action, basically. And if nobody is clocked in, right here it has the red light on and the green light off, and if there is somebody in that list, so somebody is clocked in, the green light is on and the red light is off. And then here I have, if somebody hits the Q key on the keyboard, it breaks out of this loop, and it ends the program, and it also turns off all the pins so the lights turn off.